let's move to topic number 2. Caleb Love sealed the deal for North Carolina, meaning they return everybody except for Brady Manick from whatever the name was that they nicknamed their starting 5, the Iron 5 or something. First of all, that's the only thing I don't like about North Carolina in the last 12 calendar months. Like, their fans can do better with the nickname for that group.
Yeah, very true. I have indifferent feelings on this. The whole running back mantra is not something I usually buy into. And the only thing I'll say is that this UNC team is going to be good. Do not get me wrong. Like, I think they should be a top 10 preseason team. I think they'll be a team that could make a run in the tournament. But, the losses should be noted. Like, Brady Manick is a huge loss for that team. I know they have some players that could probably fill into that role, but I don't know if they'll play as well as Brady Manick played towards the end of the year. And even as a team, how well that team played towards the end of the year. I don't want to fall into the trap of a team basically getting hot in March and carrying that into next year. I don't know if you feel the same way about that, but I think they'll be a good team. But I think anybody who's saying, like, that's my national championship pick or automatic Final Four, book it, get them there, I think that's overreaction at this point.
Yeah, I'm out on Carolina. I'm going to take the harsh stance on them heading into next season. I think they'll be like a top 25 team who will fluctuate how high and how low they go on that scale. I think there might be a couple of weeks where they're out of the poll entirely next year. I don't think these guys are that good. I think it's the curse and the blessing of Caleb Love that the NCAA tournament is only 6 games, because Caleb Love can go in fuego mode for 3 straight games. He can't do it for 6 straight games. And that's what happened and why they lost in the national championship. It's also why they're never going to be an elite regular season team, because Caleb Love is just going to shoot them to losses once every 2 weeks. And again, Caleb Love is a dynamic player. He's a high-level college basketball guard who is good enough to be the best player in the country any given day. But I wanted to see what this team looked like without him. I wanted to see what this team looked like with RJ Davis in a higher usage role in the backcourt. I also don't buy into the run it back mantra, because you can't do the quote-unquote run it back thing unless everybody's back. If Brady Manick was back, you could do that. You can't say we're all coming to run it back, but Brady just didn't want to be here. Brady was a key piece of that entire thing. It's cool they got the other 4 guys back. None of those 4 were going to be high-level NBA guys anyway. Spoiler alert. Like, I'm sorry. Caleb Love might have snuck onto a roster. Armando Bacot might have snuck onto a roster. Most likely they were going to be in the G League. Like, of course you ran it back. You got some NIL and you did your shit, and that's awesome. But no, they didn't choose. This isn't Florida, Al Horford, Jakeem Noah being like, let's go back for another year. That's not what happened here. Yeah.
And when I said top 10, I mean, coming into the season, they'll be top 10 preseason. I could easily see the vision that you see that they are, bro. They made it to the national championship game and they're bringing back most of the team. That'll be good enough for preseason to get them to the top 10.
Yeah, but I don't know. People keep comparing them to UCLA last year. I think they're worse than UCLA last year.
They're definitely. I
saw this dialogue. Kevin Sweeney compared them, and then a couple of people were going back and forth on it on Twitter, and it seemed like the consensus between smart basketball people was this North Carolina team has a lot more talent than that UCLA team, and I totally disagree with that. I think the trio that UCLA was playing through after last season's NCAA tournament run with Jaquez, with Juzang, and with Campbell, I trust those 3 way more than I trust Caleb Love, Armando Bacot, and Leaky Black. Or if you want to say RJ Davis instead of Leaky Black. And UCLA added to their roster, right? They added some bigs. They had a couple 5-star recruits coming in. What's North Carolina adding to this group of 4 next year?
Well, they do. They got a guy actually Michigan was really big on, and Michigan State, Jalen Washington from Mean Streets. He's a fringe 5-star guy, I believe correctly. I haven't looked at the latest rankings, but he's a really good player. But the Brady Manick loss is big. I mean, getting back Leaky, getting back Caleb Love, getting back Armando, those are good pieces, but there are pieces lost. They lost Dawson Garcia as well, which was expected at this point. They didn't have him all for the end of last year. Yeah, I'm not buying into the, like, this is when I'm picking 4 teams that I think can make a Final Four, North Carolina is not going to be in there for me.
I'm going to be on fade UNC all year. This is a team that lost to Pitt a month before.
Were we not on fade UNC all last year?
Well, no, we swung smartly in the NCAA tournament. Once that Baylor game happened, you and I were like, oh, shit, this team has the juice. And we rode them to some betting wins. But no, this team lost to Pitt with a month to go before the season when they were on the bubble. They're not that good. They got hot at the right time, and they bring everybody back except for their best shooter, and we'll see what happens. I do want to say this, though. If they are really, really good, I want to get this going. Star Heels.
Star Heels.
Star Heels. That's the nickname for this team if they're really, really good next year.
And you just had the audacity to get on the fan base or calling them the Iron.
Star Heels is better than the Iron 5. Come on.
I honestly might take Iron 5 over Star Heels.
Star Heels is great. You're pouty this morning. Come on.
No, like, cause I'm picturing like their logo, like the Tar Heel logo, like some little stars around it. Like, that's trash.
Get your coffee. Come back. Let's intermission here. That was good. All right.